Alright, so this lesson is about a new mathematical number e. This is section 7.3 of your textbook. I want you guys to again focus on taking these slides down as notes and trying a few problems out of your textbook just to see if you get it, and then we will go through the problems tomorrow in class. Your I can statements for this lesson, by the end of 7.3, you should be able to simplify and graph functions using the Euler number e and calculate continuously compounded interest. You guys have already seen two special numbers in math already, pi, which is 3.14 or whatever, and the complex number I, which stands for the square root of -1, right? Remember, I. Just a little review there. Now, those are two types of mathematical numbers that are actually represented by a letter. E is another one of those special numbers. It was discovered by this guy, Leonard Euler, and we call it, it's called a natural base, or the Euler number. And it actually stands for a specific number. You do have a calculator button on your calculator that says e to the x power. That's what we're going to be using here, and I'll show you that too. Here is the definition of the natural base e. Please put this in your notes. The natural base e is an irrational number. Remember that that is a number that keeps going and doesn't repeat. It just doesn't stop. It's a bunch of random numbers, and it's a decimal. It is defined as follows. This is the equation how they actually calculated e. It's actually in place of this 1 plus 1 over n to the n power. It approaches positive infinity as e approaches this number. That's a big, long mathematical explanation. What you guys need is this. E stands for the number 2.7182, whatever. It's all on there. And like I said, you do have a button on your calculator that is the number e. It's just like pi. Okay, so here's our first example. The really nice thing about this is just like pi and the irrational number I, you can leave e there sometimes. So right now you're just asked to simplify. When you simplify these expressions, you're going to use those exponent rules that we have done already. It's kind of nice. So go ahead and pause this video. I want you guys to challenge yourselves and see if you can remember how to apply your exponent rules. Look for the same base and different exponents. See if you can remember those rules. Go ahead and hit pause now and try these in your notes, and we'll be right back with the answer. Okay, so you should have been able to at least do A and B using some of those exponent rules. I understand it's easy to forget. A, we're going to first notice we both have a base e. Same base, different exponents, and I'm trying to multiply. That goes back to my exponent rule that tells me when I'm multiplying with the same base, I add those exponents. So I end up with e to the 7th. And since I'm just asked to simplify it, I can leave it as e to the 7th. Now for b, same deal. I'm going to divide the numbers. Those are like terms. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Then, same base, different exponent, and I'm dividing. So now I'm actually going to subtract those exponents. I end up with 4e to the first power, or just 4e. That's fine. Last one looks a lot more complicated. We have a monomial raised to a power. I need to make sure that I distribute that power to each term inside. So I have to go 5 squared times e to this negative 3x also times 2. Remember, when you take power to a power, you actually multiply those exponents. So we get 25 times, and I multiply my exponents here. Negative 3x times 2 gives me negative 6x. Okay, oh, negative exponent, can't have that, so that has to go to the bottom. So my final answer, 25 divided by e to the 6x power. Okay, so remember how I said that you do have an E button on your calculator. You can find this right, it's kind of to the left of the 4. The key actually says LN. I don't know if I can kind of point to that. It's this LN key. You see the E to the X in the blue above. That means you got to hit the second key first. Okay, so it's on the LN key. Let's say we wanted to evaluate e to the 4th power. So I would hit second, ln. You should see a little e pop up there. Then we're just going to put a 4 in there. And you get the number. Let's see what happens when you type in e to the 1st power. Remember how we said it was that number according to that definition you should have in your notes. If we go e to the 1st power, you get the Euler number, 2.71. So in your calculator, it's actually stored in there, just like pi. What about if we go e second, ln, let's see, to the negative 0.09. Okay, you get a different number up there. Okay, so don't forget that E button is in blue above the LN key on your calculator.